Welcome back, everyone. Let us now move on to the next session of the day entitled Careers in Data Science Employee Track 2. Moderating this session is Naharuddin and Mohamad Nasir, the Senior Manager of the Digital Talent Pipeline for Tertiary, Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation. Nick's key responsibility is to drive efforts towards meeting current and future needs of digital technology talent through collaboration between institutions of higher learning, industry players, and the government. Over to you, Nick.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, all. Thank you, Hasrul, for the brief intro. I hope everyone is having fun with MTM so far. We are indeed very honored and very lucky to have with us today a good selection of panelists which are going to talk to us about careers in data science. Of course, we all know that data now has been the key driving force in the overall digitalization of all industries across the world. And the panel today, I hope we will be able to share with you what are the insights about the types of work that the companies are embarking on, what are the career growth opportunities, what are the benefits and skills required to perform the jobs. So this is also will be an opportunity for the companies to share what are their own criteria of a successful candidate, what will be the interview as well as the hiring process. So with us today, we have three panelists. The first one is Hana, Miss Hana Edruce from Karuna, Sarawak Enterprise. The second one will be Mohamad Nazir Ismail from CIMB Bank Berhad. And the third one will be Mr. Andrew Pereira from General Assembly Malaysia. So I will be first introducing Miss Hana. She will speak first, followed by Encik Nazir, and lastly, but not least, Encik Andrew. Okay, so Miss Hana, as I mentioned, she is from Karuna Sarawak Enterprise, right? She's in charge of corporate sales for Karuna. And Karuna is an award-winning web and digital agency based in Malaysia. So her expertise spans across commercial and government projects in Malaysia. A bit of a historical background. Karuna, they first started as an e-commerce company dealing in power banks and such, but today they have evolved into one of the leading web and digital marketing agencies in Malaysia, pioneering in emerging technologies such as IoT, AR, VR with their own web systems. So without further ado, I'm glad and honored to invite Ms. Hana to present her view of the data science career and what Karuna Sarawak has in offer for all of you job seekers out there. Please, Ms. Hana.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much, Encik Nick. I'm Hana from Karuna, and today I will be talking about data science and some of the roles that we are hiring. But first, my name is Hana, and just a little bit about myself. I am in charge of the corporate sales for Karuna Sarawak, where my expertise spans across commercial and government projects in Malaysia. So Karuna started as an e-commerce company and has sold over 100,000 units of power banks online in a month, and today has evolved into one of the leading webs and digital marketing agency in Malaysia, merging technologies such as Internet of Things, augmented and virtual reality with our web systems. So Karuna is an award-winning Malaysian digital creative agency that has won the Malaysia Award Website Award 2017, 2019, 2020, and 2021. Karuna has focused on helping clients in branding, web development, and creating a unique user experience in 2009. So we were one of the earliest web developers and digital marketing agency for Astro Go Shop when they first started in Malaysia. And having built the first website for Astro Go Shop, we have expanded to take on more corporate and government clients. And today, Karuna serves more than 600 clients from Malaysia, Australia, Hong Kong, and Singapore, such as NBC Studios and Philip Capital Singapore. So these are some of the services that we offer, such as web design and development, user experience analysis, search engine optimization copywriting, which we are specialized in, social media marketing, Google AdWords marketing, turnkey systems, and mobile app development. So this actually deals with Internet of Things integration as far as specialized customized system for company automation, branding, and digital media channels. So the reason I'm here is so we can discuss more on the careers in data science. But what is data science? Data science somehow covers quite a few broad areas with different definitions. And some would say that data science is a process of using data to understand different things such as the world. But it is basically the study of data which involves data and a little bit of science. It's the art of uncovering the insights and trends hiding behind data. Organizations usually uses data science to focus on a specific problem, and it's essential to clarify the question that the organization wants answered. So for Karuna, our data science application focuses on machine learning with the application of logic through software development to automate and make decisions for some of our processes. We have some of our applications that involves controlling Internet of Things devices with an initial parameters that evolve via automated data analysis of variables. And as we all know, machine learning is the word in the technology world right now, and for good reason, of course. It represents a major step forward in how computers can learn. For instance, you can take a look at Facebook. One of the most common applications of machine learning is automatic friend tagging suggestions. It uses face detection and image recognition to automatically find the face of the person, which matches its database, which hence suggests us to tag that person based on deep face. So Facebook's deep learning project, the deep face, is responsible for the recognition of faces and identifying which person is in the picture. And it also provides alternative tags to images already uploaded on Facebook. So there are a few machine learning applications that we would like to explore in Karuna, such as an e-learning software that can adapt a facial recognition platform to ensure that the user or the student is present and also paying attention during the duration of the online class or meeting. And for our e-commerce platform, we're looking into adapting a machine learning model of buyers' preferences via previous pages browsed and products purchased. And for our agriculture software, however, will be with an IoT that supplies, feed, and fertilize based on the livestock or plant condition and also the surrounding variables. And these are the careers that are currently available at Karuna. So for full stack developer, this is actually for our systems department. We are currently using Laravel as our backend framework. So you need to have some strong knowledge of Laravel and understanding of PHP, jQuery, MySQL, and etc. You must have experience with front and back-end development of the website and the mobile app. You must also have an experience with user interface and user experience design and in designing APIs and creating databases. So what does a full stack developer do? Our full stack developer actually creates smart office system, automation system, as well as systems that can improve business processes. This position would require a degree or master's in information technology, computer science, and software engineering. And for iOS and Android developer, I think the name speaks for itself. You know, the position develops mobile applications. So our company actually codes apps that are made in React Native, Flutter, or Ionic. So you must have a good grasp of one of these three frameworks and also have strong understanding of .NET or PHP. So that's the basic language that we use for the backend systems. And you must be able to understand the entire product development lifecycle. And you need to be able to support that once the app is launched. And you need to have experience in designing good user Interbasics as well. So this would require a diploma or degree in electrical, software engineering, or mechatronics. So yeah, to apply for this position at Karuna or for more career opportunities, you can visit our website at karunasarawak.com. And that's all for me. I'm Hana from Karuna, and thank you so much for staying with me throughout this presentation.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hana. Short and sweet, and most importantly, she outlined already to us what are the type of jobs which are being offered at Karuna. And to recap, of course, the focus is on data science, especially on machine learning, where they are developing apps, applications for e-learning, e-commerce, and e-agriculture. They're also looking for full stack developer as well as iOS and Android developer. Okay, so you know how to apply. You've got the email address later. Otherwise, you can go to our My Digital Workforce Week .my, where Karuna is also listed there. And at My Digital Workforce Week, there's also a Jobs Expo, where we have more than 100 hiring companies which are offering jobs there. So please make sure you go and visit our Jobs Expo, right? So next, I would like to invite Encik Mohamad Nazir Ismail from CIMB Bank Berhad. CIMB Bank is, of course, one of our MDEC close partners. We have been working with them for quite some time. So close so that Encik Mohamad Nazir, which actually used to be with MDEC, has joined CIMB because of the synergies between the two organizations. Encik Nazir now is with the HR Talent Acquisition team in CIMB, and his expertise is in the areas of tech recruitment. So without further ado, I will now like to invite Encik Nazir to probably introduce a bit more about yourself and speak to our audience about the vast opportunities in the exciting world at CIMB. Please, Encik Nazir.
Again, Assalamualaikum, and thank you, Encik Naharuddin from MDEC for generous introduction earlier. Okay, echoing what Cik Nick says just now, I was actually with MDEC earlier on. So I keep telling my friend and colleagues that earlier on when I was with MDEC, I helped to build the national talent pipeline together with Cik Nick, Maria, and the team. My focus was particularly on data science, national talent development. So we work with universities, and then we work with professionals. We do a certification program and stuff like that using the grant that is given by the government. So now, I think about 2 years ago, right before the pandemic, I make a move to join CIMB Bank, where the goal is to hire back these people what we have trained earlier on in MDEC, focusing on data science particularly. So this is where I am, and I've seen the results. To be honest, I've seen the results. For example, if you were to hire a fresh graduate in data science, right, in Malaysia right now, there are a lot of candidates who have the right skill and fundamental that we can look into, and then we can consider and weight their qualifications and skills that they have. I think everyone in MDEC, I congratulate for doing such a good job to help these companies in Malaysia to get the right talent pipeline. Okay. Start with my slide. Hold on. Can you see my slide now? Okay. So again, I'm Nazir from CIMB Regional Talent Acquisition. Let me pin the screen. Okay. My name is Nazir from CIMB Regional Talent Acquisition team. So we are a team in CIMB who does the recruitment for non-tech and technical recruitment. So my team particularly focusing on technical recruitment. So we hire developers, we hire data scientists, data engineers, IT project managers, IT PM. PM is in project manager, not the prime minister. Okay, joke aside. Okay, over the next 5 to 10 minutes, I will share briefly about our company and the data science roles that we are currently hiring, aligned with the today topics on career in data science. Okay, so basically this is our CIMB corporate. Let me briefly go over our CIMB corporate and group structure. We are a GLC, government-linked corporation, and the main shareholders include Khazanah, EPF, PNB, and etc. Okay, CIMB Group Holding Berhad owns CIMB, CIMB Bank, CIMB Niaga, and CIMB Investment Bank, including subsidiaries such as Touch and Go and CGS CIMB, a stockbroking company. Okay, and under CIMB Bank, we own CIMB Islamic and also subsidiaries in Thailand, Cambodia, and also Vietnam. Yep. Next slide, please. So this is CIMB today. At CIMB, we believe in empowering the dreams and ambitions of our over 30 million customers across Asia at every stage of their financial journey. Okay, whether they are at the beginning of their career, whether they are getting married, preparing for a larger family, or taking steps towards retirement, CIMB has the products and the services and solutions that will enable them to achieve their financial goals. Yeah. And our range of 24/7 digital solutions and the ability to access our 800 branches make us one of the most extensive banking networks in Asia. Means our customers can be assured of convenience and best-in-class advice that they navigate through their way to the better future. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, before I go to the job roles, I would like to share about our employee value proposition or EVP. So if you become part of the CIMB family and in exchange of your experience and skills, the organization provides you with the following employee value proposition. Okay, so if you like getting results, number one, if you like getting results, then you'll be happy to work here as we have a quite competitive compensation, benefits, and rewards package for people who help us to achieve business goals. Yeah, and then as for learning and talent development, from the start you're working here, you will see unparalleled focus on your development, personal and career growth, with opportunity to work across the region. And then we are committed to invest in our talent pool, basically to future-proof our talent pool. Yep. And then in terms of diversity, at CIMB, we promote diversity to foster innovation. As we exist in Asian countries, you will have the opportunity to collaborate on a cross-border project with our counterpart across the Asian. Okay, and this last but not least important. We recognize that you care about the world that you live in, and then we will support your investment in sustainability and corporate responsibility by giving you time for your contributions to CSR, for example, through our CIMB Foundation. Okay. Okay. Next slide, we will go to the job roles available in CIMB. Okay, I just got the login to the My Digital Career Force website, I think a few days ago. So we managed to upload a number of positions, in tech positions, including data science job at the My Career Digital Workforce Week website. So if you have time today, if you're interested to apply in some of the jobs in CIMB, technical related, then you can visit the website. But the slide now, I would like to focus on our data science jobs and the criteria that we are looking at when we are hiring candidates for these positions. Okay. First of all, let's look at the areas in banking where analytics is focused on. There are two in my mind right now. So number one is consumer and marketing analytics. Yeah. And number two, along the risk and fraud, or things like anti-money laundering, KYC, know your customer analytics. Okay. So, but the jobs that I post right now, they are available under our decision management team, which is under Group Consumer Banking of CIMB. Okay, you can see here, there are 5 jobs. I cannot fit all the jobs into the screen, so I take sample of 5 jobs that I will break down into categories of talents that we hire in CIMB. Okay, number one, data engineers and developers. Okay, what do these people do in CIMB? They do hands-on work on data and analytics platform by building a data foundation for the entire business. Okay, and for data engineers and developers, the skill set, the common skill set, if you scan through the job description, it will be things like SQL, things like R programming, Python, ETL, and then Oracle and SAS data integration, and also knowledge on Hadoop ecosystem, and also knowledge on big data tools such as Hive and Impala. Okay, so number 2 job category that we are here is data scientist. Okay? I think this one everybody knows in terms of data scientist. Basically, what data scientists do in CIMB, they transform data into business value using advanced statistics and algorithm. Okay, and the skill set that we are looking for will be they have to be very hands-on on statistical modeling. They know about machine learning techniques, and then they also good at programming, R, Python, and also along with data visualization, such as Excel, Tableau, ClickView, and big data tools. Okay, the third job category that we're looking at is portfolio analyst. What do portfolio analysts do? What they do is they deep dive into product portfolio, customer segments, and channel for data-driven decisions. So the skills, the common skills will be data manipulation, SAS, SPSS, R, and Python. Okay, and then the number 4 that we are looking at, campaign and personalization journey builder. The name of the job on the slide for this category is Manager Strategic Campaign Management. So what they do is they reach out to customer when it's relevant, and then in the right timing and appropriate to our various of our channels. So the skill set for strategic campaign management that we're looking at is someone who has experience in campaign analytics, someone who knows marketing analytics, someone who familiar with SAS tools because they use SAS, and also SPSS. Okay, and then another one is digital and analytics manager. The position is not here. Digital and analytic managers. They basically is the is the project manager for the digital for the data team. Yeah. So what they do is they ensure the work or the data project is fully implemented and successful to go live. Okay. So to match the job with the category that I mentioned earlier, the one that we hire for junior manager level regional data science, this is under data scientist team. From junior range to intermediate to the senior level. All the data scientists park under here. So for the data engineers and data developers, the second job and the third job and the fourth job falls under this category. Manager data analytics platforms and delivery, AVP data analytics and platform delivery, executive level big data officer. So basically these are 3 different level job grade in CIMB that does the same thing, data engineering and data engineering development. So the last one, as I mentioned earlier, manager strategic campaign management, part under campaign and personalization team. So they are the one that look at customer personalization, customer campaign, how to shoot the right advertisement in your CIMB clicks. If you open up your CIMB clicks, you will see like a personalized job ad at the bottom banner that will change when you move to a certain location, for example. So it's a targeted ad. These are the people that work behind this model or the data science behind this. Okay. So to add to that, I think there are many jobs. We do hire non-data science as well. I would like to highlight this because of this opportunity. We have positions such as RPA developers, we have DevOps, front-end, back-end engineers. So we are hiring for a lot of teams in CIMB because the CIMB have a very big group of group technology. So there are always vacancies available for people who are interested to apply in CIMB. Okay, last but not least, if you have more question or inquiry also, particularly on any job or job description, you can connect with me at LinkedIn because I'm quite active on LinkedIn as well. So you just connect and then drop me a question or have a look at our LinkedIn job postings as well under CIMB. So there are quite a number of jobs available there. I think that's all for me. I pass back to Encik Nick to continue.
Right. Thank you, Encik Nazir. I think CIMB sounds like a very exciting place of employment. We can see that there's a good employee value proposition, and coming from a regional entity, you have the opportunity to explore regional roles. If you want to, go to experience Thailand or Cambodia or Vietnam, you're going to have that opportunity. And it's because of, I think, that sheer size as well. So there are various roles available, not only in data, but as well as other parts of digital tech. I think really the data is, I think, the key, the cornerstone of the CIMB's push for them to be one of the leading regional entities in the banking sector. So that's why they are covering all the consumer and banking, analytics, risk and fraud, and having openings for all roles from developer, data scientists, portfolio analysts, and to me, quite interestingly, is the campaign management, right? So because you always wonder how do a company decide to target a certain sector or certain segment of the people of the population. So these are the people who are strategically analyzing the data and deciding, okay, let's focus on this segment at this time of the year, at this hour of the day, and so on and so on. So it's very interesting, right? So I think we are going to move on to our next and final panelist today. Next, but the final, but definitely not the least, is from the General Assembly Malaysia, Mr. Andrew Pereira. He's the Chief Executive Officer. So GA or General Assembly is also a good partner, close working partner of MDEC. We've been working with GA in a number of initiatives, push to push the uptake or the upskilling of digital tech talent. So I believe Mr. Andrew will be explaining to us what is it that they do in order to help Malaysia to realize our full potential to be the heart of digital ASEAN. So Mr. Andrew, over to you.
Thank you, Chinik. Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew. I'm from an organization known as General Assembly here in Malaysia. And before I get into my presentation, I just wanted to share that I'm going to be sharing a little bit of a different perspective from our other panelists so far. My organization is actually dedicated to upskilling and reskilling individuals for the digital age, right? We also work together with employers across Malaysia to actually equip them with the talent necessary, either through upskilling or reskilling their existing workforces, or finding them fresh talent, graduating from our program. So for instance, we have about 500 learners graduating with a variety of different skills, including data skills, just in the coming months, right? So that's what we do. And my presentation is going to be more focused on, how do you actually pursue a career in data science, right? Like, what does it actually take to enter the career? And how do you actually progress along that career? Because it frankly is a little bit confusing here in Malaysia, especially because what we call data science careers are often, careers that are related to data science and not necessarily data science itself. A lot of them are related to data analytics as well, right? So they're not pure data science. So, hopefully can help demystify a bit of that as we go along the presentation today. So very quickly, an introduction to General Assembly. We are a global provider of digital talent development services, and we've been around for over a decade. We started in New York, and have since grown to about approaching 40 campuses globally around the world. We have trained about 70,000 individuals around the world, and that does not include individuals that we've trained within organizations, so the employees of organizations through upskilling and reskilling. And one of the things that we are very proud of is the fact that 92% of our reskilling students, so students who are trying to transition from one career to another, actually find a job within 180 days of them graduating. For data science reskilling graduates, that percentage is actually 97%, right? So 97% of our graduates actually find a job within 6 months of graduating. We work together with about 19,000 companies around the world to equip them with talent. About half of the Fortune 100 are our clients and partners, and hire our graduates on an ongoing basis. We have quite a few partners within Malaysia as well. A lot of them in industries such as financial services, technology, telco, some of our largest hires. And about 25,000 employees of Fortune 500 companies have been trained by General Assembly in 20 plus countries around the world. And we are registered with, all the regular, all the expected organizations, including MDEC. We are a major partner. Yeah. Very quickly, I lead General Assembly here in Malaysia. You can see a bit there. My background is very much in the learning space. But one thing I do want to highlight about myself before I get into the presentation proper is that even though I started off as a lawyer, one of the very first roles that I had once I graduated was in analytics, right? So my first career outside of law was as a business analyst. It is possible for you to learn one thing and to transition careers entirely into something else. And analytics is no exception to that, right? I'll share some examples afterwards of people who have transitioned careers and become data analysts or data scientists. But it is possible for you to pick up analytics skills, to pick up programming skills, and to transition careers and move in the direction that, frankly, our whole economy is moving in right now, right? So, I hopefully we'll share a bit of that, as we go through this. Okay, it's working. So I think this one comes as no surprise to everyone. Data science is definitely trending. And guess what? It's been trending for nearly 10 years, right? So you can see that Harvard Business Review calling data scientists the sexiest job of the 21st century. In Malaysia alone, according to the World Economic Forum, there has been a 200% CAGR in terms of data science roles over the last 5 years, right? So the number of roles is increasing rapidly here in Malaysia. But one thing that I think is interesting to note is that even though the growth is exponential in terms of the number of roles, the supply of talent has not grown at the same rate, right? It actually is, even though there are substantially more graduates who are coming out with data science degrees, it's still not enough to meet all the demands of the workforce. And this, by the way, this is not just for roles that are called data scientists, but for roles related to data science, right? Like these include, some advanced analytics roles where you are using data science tools, but not necessarily called a data scientist, right? And Glassdoor has rated, data science is the #1 job in the USA 2018 to 2020. It lost in 2021. It dropped to position #2. but it's still number 2. And by the way, the number 1 position is still has is JavaScript. JavaScript developer, so it's still very much in the realm of what we are discussing here, right? So data science is big. Moving forward, and I apologize because this connection seems to be a little bit slow. Oh, sorry. There we go. I think the other 2 panelists, shared a bit about this. There are a wide range of careers that leverage data science skills, right? So obviously there are data scientists, you have machine learning engineers, data engineers, research scientists, etc. Or people who work in automation. But on the other side of this page, you'll see there are a whole bunch of roles that don't necessarily have data science in the role, but leverage a lot of data science skill sets, right? Product managers and owners, especially if you work in a tech organization, they often use data science skills. Marketing managers, data science is a really key part of digital marketing these days. And I think my fellow panelist from CIMB shared that there are marketing roles that actually require these skill sets. Business analyst, software engineer, data analyst, a lot of these roles actually leverage data science skills. So even if you're interested in entering data science to become a data scientist, know that there are other roles that are available that will actually that can actually leverage the skills that you have or that you are going to acquire, right? Moving forward. Similarly, there is no one fixed path into data science careers, right? So certain degrees certainly help. Obviously, if you have a degree in data science, that's wonderful. But honestly, you can have a degree in computer science, IT, mathematics, physics, literally anything that involves statistics is also very, very good. We have successfully worked together with folks from, social sciences, physical sciences, and really they are, make wonderful data scientists. But even if you don't have degrees in these areas, it is possible for you to pursue a career in data science. And there are multiple paths that you can take, into data science. One of the most common is data analytics. I'll give you an example. We are working together with a global bank with very substantial operations here in Malaysia. And they are essentially transforming a significant number of their data analysts into data scientists, right? So we're working with them right now to equip them, these data analysts with data science skills, right? A lot of them beginning with programming. Data visualization and data storytelling, another great way to transition from, into data science as a career. If you're using tools like Tableau, Power BI, ClickView, etc., you are already, that's another great way for you to get into it. But one of the number 1 things you can do to really transition to a career in data science is learning programming. And based on our experience around the world, this is one of those skill sets that actually is quite lacking here in Malaysia. In other markets, you have a lot of people learning programming languages in school. But here it's not as common. So it's far more common for people to pick up programming later on in their careers. And there are certain programming languages that help more than others when it comes to data science. So SQL or SQL is one of the most common. It's a programming language used to create, alter, request, aggregate data from databases. Those of you who are movie buffs out there, if you use IMDb, that's and you notice that, oh, I want to find out the review for this film. Oh, I see this actor. What other things did this actor work in? That is SQL, right? Like all that data that is being pulled up, that's effectively SQL. That's getting that's helping out with that. And SQL, based on our experience, is one of the most in-demand skills, not just in data science but also in data analytics. So SQL is one of them. The other one is Python. I'm not a big programmer. I learned a bit of HTML when I was younger, but like even Python is one that is actually quite easy, or easier than a lot of other programming languages to pick up. And it's used to automate processes, build apps, delve into machine learning, right? Like it is probably the number 1, Python together with R, probably the top programming languages when it comes to data science. And it powers a lot of things that we all use, right? So for instance, all those wonderful recommendations you're getting on Airbnb or on Spotify, that's all powered by Python. It's even used in things like visual imaging. So when you watch Lucasfilm movies, and industrial magic, light magic, like that's and you see like a lightsaber moving around and like the colors changing. That's Python actually powering that, right? Because it's impossible for someone to actually go ahead and make all those edits and change colors in the movies, right? So it's used for a wide variety of different things. But in data science, it's especially helpful. It's especially helpful in machine learning, right? And if you want to get into data science, like these are these kind of skills are really helpful to pick up. And I just have 3 bits of advice, for those of you who are interested in transitioning into a career in data science, or even just picking up data science skills so that you're more relevant, right? Number 1 is there are lots of actually, and you might think this is, doesn't make sense for a training provider to say, but there are lots of free resources out there that you should actually try out first before you enroll in a course or anything like that, right? It is possible for you to, jump on Coursera and learn like the very basics of things like SQL or Python. Like organizations like General Assembly also provide free intro classes to a lot of these skill sets, right? So it is possible for you to pick up these things for free. And after you're done with that, I think recommendation number 2 is to actually work together, is to actually try and enroll in a program where you're going to get coaching and advice to actually improve these skills, right? Just like you can't really learn maths by reading a maths textbook. You can't really learn data science or SQL or Python, by doing a free course where you're just, going through slides, right? So eventually you're going to want to do a course where you are practicing these skills on real world problems, right? And the third bit of advice, that I would have for you is that these skills all build upon one another. It's not, it's helpful to think about your particular role, the particular path that you're taking within your organization, and think, what are the skills that I could pick up, and get advice basically from someone you trust, right? So there are loads of providers out there like General Assembly that, have counselors that will be able to talk to you about your career ambitions, and the kinds of skills that make the most sense for you to progress in your career. And what's really in and what people are really hiring for, because we actually work with employers across Malaysia, and we can actually see what demand is out there, right? So yeah, that's there is no one path. The final thing I wanted to end on is this, and I hope I hope this is a hopeful note to end on. Anyone can pick up skills like data science, and here you see some examples of people who come from backgrounds like publishing, or being a hairstylist, or product developers, becoming analysts, data scientists, programmers, right? We have experience working with people from a variety of different backgrounds. Some of them don't even have degrees, right? And actually finding them, upskilling them, reskilling them through programs that really equip them with real skills, right? And actually matching them to career opportunities afterwards, where they're able to practice those skills and really thrive in the digital economy of the future. One program that we are running right now with the sponsorship of the Malaysian Ministry of Higher Education is actually providing sponsored upskilling to people who are graduating from IPTAs, and equipping them with skills, like Python, like data analytics, so that they're prepared to take these roles, and then finding them jobs afterwards, right? So this is something that we truly believe, right, that you don't need a degree in data science to become a data scientist, or to acquire the skills necessary to thrive, in a role that requires data science. And that's it from me. If you want to learn more about us, academyg.com, or you can look me up on LinkedIn. Very happy to help. Thanks, everyone.
Right, thanks, Andrew. How very exciting. Coming from GA, which is a global institution, started from the US, and now I think ventured into Malaysia, I think about almost 2 years ago, yeah?
That's right.
All right. Okay. So I think you heard it from Andrew just now. their track record in terms of training and placing talents into the industry is very, very excellent. I think 97% when it comes to data and tech related careers. So there's, I think the other 3% maybe they simply just enroll because they simply just want to know about it and they just want to explore new things. But 97%, I think that's quite unheard of lah. Okay, and you heard from Andrew also the 3 advice if you want to explore into this data science career, and I think this advice is also applicable to other careers as well. First, you explore a bit and see, you know, because there are many free resources. So just go and, like he said, go explore on Coursera and all that. See whether you have an inkling or a sign of love into the area. So then you can explore further, try it out, and keep in mind that the skills required for a successful career, there's no one single skills, but instead it's a accumulation of skills built one over another. And I really love those 3 success stories. I'm sure those are not the only success stories. I've heard of other success stories, but I love the one with a hairstylist going into training and ending up as a web developer. I think that's great. I think it particularly for digital tech, it's never too late to learn, even if you're in the 50s, or even if you're never too late and never too early. Even if you're in the teens, you can start learning and explore a career. Even if you're in the 50s, I've heard of people enrolling into a course in his or her 50s and starting a new career in digital tech. So I think that's one thing great about the tech area, right? So I think we have covered all 3 of our panelists. Now we are open for Q&A. If you have any questions, I think you can post on the chat box, right? And for me, I also have a couple of questions on my mind, which I think I would like to hear more from our panelists. Maybe from Miss Hana, right? If I may ask you, for your the tech roles in your company,
Yeah.
what sort of person, what sort of candidate will be the best fit to fit into Karuna? What would be a successful hire in the job roles in Karuna? How would you describe his or her characteristics? Right?
Characteristics. So in Karuna Sarawak, we're very selective of our applicants because we're looking not only at the skill competency, but most importantly, that can fit to our company culture. So our company culture is basically summarized by 3 words: energetic, daring, and creative. Yeah, so we believe that, you know, the only way for you to do great work is to actually love what you do. So that's why, you know, if being at Karuna is not a job, but rather a career. So we value people, you know, for their hard work and their impact to the business and the society lah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Nick, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Sorry. Yes, that happens, huh? So great. Yes. I think that's great. Energetic, daring, and creative.
Yes.
So you dare to try new things, new ways of doing things, and you have to be creative in doing it.
Yeah.
And of course, in order to have to be daring and to be creative, you have to be energetic. So I really love that concept in Karuna. Okay, so if I may ask Mr. Nazir, being in CIMB, where you have a large network, right? Do you think networking is important in job search? Bearing in mind that now you have all these digital means to look for and search for jobs that you like. Do you still think networking, interpersonal networking is still relevant, is still important in this day and age?
Yeah, Jenik, thank you for the question. Yes, networking is crucial and it is important, especially when you are job searching, because particularly in right now, right, you need to interact with people because we are having lesser and lesser interactions due to the pandemic and stuff like that. So put in effort, create a LinkedIn profile, create a networking, get to know people, get to know the job market, living up with the current trends in the market, and also to meet your prospective, maybe mentors or your future employers to see what they are doing and then understand the trends in the market that they're doing. So this will not only help you to understand better, but also give you to the necessary resources and information that you need when you applying or shortlisted for the job that you are applying.
All right, thank you, Encik Nazir. So there you have it. You heard from Encik Nazir. Even though you are looking for a job in the digital tech roles, but you still need to have the human touch. I think that's one of the greatest misconceptions from among the job seekers out there, is that I'm going for a tech job, so I don't need to interact with other techies or other non-techies. I can just rely on this job portal and all that. But still, you heard it from Cik Nazir, human touch, human interaction is still very important, because after all the technology, after all the AI, IoT and all that, we are all still humans, right? Okay. So I have, I think, if time allows, 2 questions for Mr. Andrew. Number 1, GA being, you have a vast number of courses being offered. And obviously, this will take a lot of resources in order to maintain and make sure that all the contents are updated and everything is in place, right? So how often do you update your course content to ensure that the contents are still relevant to the digital jobs? Because the digital jobs are always changing by the day or by the week. It's very fast changing. So how often do you update the course content? How do you make sure that they remain relevant?
So that's an excellent question, right? So I think 2 things, 2 parts of my answer to that. The first is every single one of our courses falls, we call them digital disciplines, right? So whether it's data science, data analytics, digital marketing, etc., we consider each of these disciplines. And for each discipline, we actually have something called a standards board. And this standards board consists of leaders from global leaders, actually, from organizations around the world that are considered leaders in that particular skill set. So for instance, our data science standards board includes the chief data officer of Bloomberg, right? Includes C-suite level executives from Google and Facebook, etc. Right? So organizations that are generally considered to be leaders in this field sit in our standards boards, and they are the custodians of the standards for our programs, right? Every year they conduct, part 2 to my answer is every year they actually conduct an audit of the programs that fall within that particular digital discipline and ensure that the skills required are up to date, right? And this is at multiple proficiencies, right? Because we actually have these skills frameworks that exist for each of these disciplines to say, okay, what does level 0 foundational level skills look like for this discipline, right? What is level 1, level 2, level 3, etc. Right? And we have programs that are actually designed for each of these levels, for each of these proficiency levels, and those standards boards make sure that the skills necessary are up to date for each of them. So if you do one of our courses this year, and you do one of the same course again next year, chances are it's going to look different. So that's, hopefully answers the question.
All right, thank you. Another question following up to that, because I'm still intrigued by your 97% figure, right? Surely it doesn't happen by itself, right? Because once you attend the course, after the course, surely you will need some help to look for the job, right? So what sort of support does a learner have after completing the course at GA? Do you help them with their job search? Do you help them with maybe a follow-up technical question 1 or 2 months after the course? What do you have in offer for them?
Yeah, so that's an excellent question. No, it doesn't happen automatically. It takes a lot of work. We have a very hardworking team behind it. There are 3 parts. There are 3 reasons why we have such a high placement rate, right? The first is the nature of the programs themselves. I think a lot of programs are actually quite academic and like teach people just hey, these are the skills required. But we truly believe that that academic part should be a very, very small part of the program. So the vast majority of the learning in our programs is hands-on learning, right? So you're actually working on real world problems, and making and applying the skills that you're learning to those real world problems, right? So for instance, one of our clients is Airbnb, right? And we work with Airbnb, and for our data science program, if you can't select your own project that you're going to work on, you actually get to work on Airbnb data to come up with smarter recommendations based on the Airbnb data that you have available to you, right? So you're actually working on real world projects, that have real data, right? And trying to solve problems based on real world, real world things. Number 1. Number 2 is you get really hands-on support. So every single one of our instructors, we don't believe, by the way, in all our instructors have day jobs, right? What I mean by that is they're not full-time instructors, right? They actually work as data scientists in insurance companies, right? Have run their own startups, etc. Right? So when they're teaching the class, they're actually bringing real-world experiences into that class, right? And these wonderful instructors that we have, we also make sure there are enough of them for every class. So we have a 10-to-1 learner to instructor ratio. So if you have a class of 30, there are going to be 3 instructors there. So, and one of them is going to be committed to working closely together with you and actually giving you not just advice on your work, but also giving you career advice, right? Because you're actually speaking, if you're trying to do a course in data science, you're speaking to a data scientist, right? Who actually works in the field, right? And has actually looked for a job before, as a data scientist. So that's part 2. And the third thing, which I think is super critical, is that for our reskilling programs and for a number of our other programs, like the program that we have running with Khazanah or the program that we have running with the Ministry of Higher Education right now, we actually work together with the students to equip them with what we call professional skills, right? Based on the work that we've done with a lot of employers, one of the top reasons why they have trouble hiring into certain positions is because a lot of these graduates don't have things like communication skills, right? They can't actually, wonderful, you can crunch all the data you want, but if you can't derive insights from that data and communicate those insights in a way that is compelling and that has clear recommendations, there's no point, right? So one of the things that we actually do is we actually work together with them to help develop things like communication skills and things like personal branding, right? Like how do you actually, when you go to an interview, how do you talk about yourself to the interviewer? One of the things that I do, even though I'm the CEO of General Assembly, I spent this weekend marking personal brand statements from my students, right? To actually, basically these are brand statements to say this is how they will communicate themselves, communicate about themselves in an interview, right? And you'd be surprised the number of graduates who go to these interviews and they can't, when you ask them, like, tell me why I should hire you for this role, they can't answer that question. If you learn at General Assembly, we help you get to an answer to that question, right? And that makes all the difference because it's not just about equipping people with the hard skills, it's making sure that they have the skills necessary to be productive, effective, and compelling professionals in the workplace.
All right, great. Thank you. We have many more questions, but I think we are running out of time. So I think I will have to hand this over back to Encik Hasrul shortly. But before that, I would like to once again thank all our panelists. So you heard from Ms. Hana, you heard from Encik Nazir, all the opportunities aplenty at their companies, and please go and visit our Jobs Expo to explore those opportunities. We've heard from Mr. Andrew from the perspective of our training providers in the digital tech. So good prospect, good track record. So please feel free to explore their offerings. So with that, again, thank you, and I hand over to Encik Hasrul.
Thank you, Cik Nick, and all our panel members for those presentations, job openings, and corresponding job requirements. Job seekers out there, upskill with General Assembly, or go to the My Digital Workforce Week at www.mydigitalworkforceweek.my. About 5,000 jobs available. And also, why not connect with these people within the industry through LinkedIn? Anyway, for more information, if you need any assistance from our admin, do contact our admin in the comment section. Okay, with that, we have concluded the first half of day 2 of the Digital Skills Week here at Malaysia Tech Month. We will now take a break from our sessions and resume later at 3 p.m. See you then. Thank you. Bye.